Hey everybody, let's see if hopefully the audio is working and everything. Looks like it is. I am very blue today. I don't know why. Every day I come back and my camera is like a different color than it was before. I we could do some of our saturation color adjustments, but I'm telling you, every time I come in, it's a different shift of a color. Can I OBS is so weird sometimes. Like you can't like, do you multiply it against like a certain value? I don't know. Do I make it even more blue? Oh my god, don't do that. All right. Yeah, that's not what you want. Now we can live in the Matrix right now, guys. We can have all sorts of colors going on. Let's just sorry. Let me fix this. We're not going to be blue. We're not going to be green. We're not going to be any of that, okay? We're going to just keep everything kind of simple, kind of straightforward. There is no hue shifts. Jeez, man. Like, I'm trying to just have like a regular palette here, and I'm just shifting everything all over the place. This is your low-key streamer setup. Hello. How you doing, Alexander? Hey, Hogwick, welcome into the chat. Hey, everybody. How you guys doing? Today, you are... Yep. Okay, great. Perfect. Beautiful. All right. I don't even know. We're going to stick with this for the colors for today. But today, we are going to jump back into the stream of what we started last week, which was doing a CG head replacement of a robot head. And I don't have anything open right now, but we're going to open this up. Just figured we'd get on in and say hey to everybody before we got started. I should have music going right now, right? I think we're good. How is your guys' week? Mine's been a little crazy. We've had these crazy wildfires out here in California that we've been dealing with. And so that's been a little insane. But luckily, I haven't been evacuated. I did have a few friends that were, unfortunately. But I think the wind will be dying down by Tuesday. I don't know. It's wild out there, guys. The wind hasn't been that bad where I'm at recently. It's been getting a little bit better, but yeah, we will just keep on creating. We're gonna make some fun stuff in Blender. We're just gonna focus on that, and hopefully we'll create some really chill stuff. Hope everything's fine. Yeah, that shit's terrifying, dude. Yeah, no, it's scary. That stuff moves fast, especially the first day the winds were going crazy. It was like 200-mile-an-hour gusts of wind. So, like, that's kind of what started the whole thing, is power lines got thrown down and all sorts of stuff. And it's just wild. Yeah, the news, it's all over the world. Hope you guys are safe. Thanks. Yeah, no, we're fine where I'm at. But yeah, it's devastating. Some of the areas, I mean, you guys have seen the footage from the news and stuff. It's just wild. So, I'm really hoping that, they're saying that it might take years to recover from it, just like all of the devastation, like billions of dollars worth of property damage. It's just very sad. I'm going to go ahead and open up our project now, and this is kind of what we've been working on here. Just to show you guys, we got a nice camera track on our shot already. What we did was I tracked this over inside of Nuke, and then we're bringing this into Blender as basically a camera track. So the actual cube that we see here is not actually moving around. It's the camera that's moving around. And that'll allow us to model whatever we want and have that moving with how the head is moving. If I hide this, you can see we also created a clean plate of removing the person's head. So that'll allow, let me get my chat up here working, because I want to see what you guys are sending me messages and whatnot. Let's just pop this out real quick. That way we're all good to go. But hey, Adel, is that how you say your name? I'm sorry. Welcome into the chat. Nice to see you guys here. Just also let you guys know, I updated the dad jokes. So if you guys want any funny dad jokes, that's an exclamation mark dad joke. And then, of course, if you want to check in, just use the exclamation mark hello as well. Alrighty then. Okay, so we have this clean plate here without our cube in it. And we can model whatever we want now for our robot head. So the idea being that we can just now create a 3D model, place it basically right where that cube is, and then it'll kind of track in. And inside of our comp, we have things separated into different layers. So the front of the shirt will be its own separate layer from the stuff that's behind it. So placing the robot head in, we can actually situate it with inside of our footage correctly that way. And since we already have a clean plate of everything in the background, all we have to focus on right now, I think this week, is going to be creating that 3D model of the robot head. Probably texture it today. I don't know. We'll see what we get to. We're not going to finish everything up today. These are all work in progress live streams. But this will be fun. We're going to get into what we can. I'm going to open up Chrome. And we're just going to find the Chappie head. This is what we're going to try 3D modeling here in Blender today. This is basically a full body robot, but I thought it'd be cool just to make the head itself. I love the screens that are on the eyes and stuff like that. We'll take this and then we will place that inside of our dude with his nice fancy bar uniform. And we're not replacing the hands. I felt like that was going to be a bit much to do because honestly that's a whole match move of the body and everything, and I was like, I don't want to deal with that. But we will be replacing the head, of course, on our shot. And I figured we can just model this dude. I don't think it'll be that hard to 3D model him. This was some of the sketch drawings that I showed a couple weeks ago when we started this thing. And, this was created by Weta Digital. Those wonderful artists over there, those beautiful human beings. And we're going to try to do it ourselves here on our computer. So, I figured we could probably use some nice surface imperfections of like the different paint chipping away and whatnot. So it requires to create some layers of the texturing. And then my only concern also is that there's a good amount of wires and cables coming off the head. So we're going to want to have some kind of either soft body track or, just rig it appropriately. So that way the wires don't fly all over the place and they're moving how wires would move. And then Chappie, the actual film, they had all these chains and stuff. I don't know if you guys know the story about how Chappie, the movie, was created, but they basically had a dude that just acted out the shots, and then every single shot, they keyframed it. They hand keyframed it, all the movements. So it's all just hand keyframed. They didn't use motion tracking. They didn't use any of that. That's as far as I know. And it's just wild when you think about it. I can't imagine how much work that would be. We had some match moving done on a film that I just did where we were doing, these people were swimming around in this water. And we wanted to put bioluminescence on top of the water. So we ended up tracking the each individual person. And we tracked them, just their hands and arms. And they were pretty rough tracks, but they still were pretty close to what the people were. We had to do that for all the shots, and it was an entire scene. So, it was about 40 shots or so of the film. And it was like this romantic scene where they're swimming around in bioluminescent water. But they filmed it in regular water, and then we had to track them. I didn't do the match moving myself. We hired some professionals to do that. But we would receive these match moves and then give that to our sim artists. They recreated the water surface, and we just multiplied that bioluminescence on top of it. One of these days, once that film's out, I'll show you guys some VFX breakdowns on it. It's pretty remarkable stuff. Really cool pipeline on how to do that. Hey Satya, welcome into the chat. What are we doing today? Today, we're going to be modeling the 3D head of our robot here. I feel like this is someone else made this, because this doesn't look like it's from the movie. But we're going to be painting it and 3D modeling it. So we'll be starting mostly from scratch here. All we have is a cube, which we're going to probably delete because who wants the default cube, guys? We don't want default cubes. We want our own cubes. I want to Shift A and add that cube myself. I don't need a default one. It is funny when you go into other 3D software and they don't have those cubes automatically in them. You have to add a cube. Like Houdini doesn't have a default. I don't think Houdini has a default. Although I'm not a huge fan of default stuff. Like going into Unreal Engine, I hate the fact that there's already so many default lighting settings in the world that's already there. Just like, can't you just give me a blank environment? And I think they have an option for that, but that's not, you have to go in and change your settings to basically do that. Okay, so let's look at this. This is primarily going to be the basic shapes of what we're doing here. Okay, let's get on into this. I'm going to, for our sake, we're just going to hide everything here. I just want to refresh my brain on the orientation of the camera and everything. And we're going to try, let's see. Let's take this over here. That way we've got our references over on this screen here. Delete the cube and add it again. Dude, that's what I do. I go in here, I delete it, and then I re-add it. That's my life. Okay. Which I actually, let's see, we actually want, that's our cube there. So if we grabbed, what is this guy? Can we grab that? Yes. So we have our meshes and we have our cameras and we have this cube. So our meshes, our camera, and our cube. So I'm going to delete the meshes empty. So now we only have this other empty here. Looks like we still have 2 empties. I don't know what that is either. Let's delete all these extra empties. We basically only want this one empty. And then I'm going to say, whoops. I'm going to take this for our own sake. And we're just going to, let's say object keep transform. We're just parenting it to this cube because we know this cube is the center of our scene that we have. So if we take this and then we say selection to cursor, then it'll move our entire environment to our world origin. And then now, because our scaling is all off, let's add in, how big is this head, do you think? Like this? What is this? What is that? Someone have a ruler? Someone tell me how big a head is. I don't have a ruler on me. Someone tell me how big a head is. 10 inches? What is that? What is that? What's this size? What is the height of a head? 18 to 20 centimeters. Okay. Because I don't do meters, someone needs to tell me what 20 centimeters is. 0.2? Okay. So, I like to then add in a plane. This is just my favorite workflow is just adding in like a single vertice here. Whoops, let's delete that. And then Shift S and then do selection to cursor. So this goes to the center of our world here. If I extrude that on the Z-axis, 0.2, that'll be 0.2 meters tall. That's how tall our head should be. So now, if we take this whole cube here and then we just scale it up, we basically want to scale it up. Let's put that on the bottom of our head location. And then this is the top of our head. We have this little line here. And then all I want to do is then scale this on the 3D cursor to the top. Now our head is roughly the correctest is the more, it's the correct size. All right, it's the correct size. So now we've got our head here and it's roughly the correct size. To answer your questions, Satya, the tracking is already done. Yes, we did that last week on our live stream last week. This week we're going into creating the 3D model of the head. We did the tracking inside of Nuke and then we imported it into Blender. You can use Blender, do the exact same workflow that we did in Nuke, but then just do it directly in Blender if you want. But I just wanted to use the camera tracker inside of Nuke because I actually use that way more than I use the Blender one. I have access to it, so why not? Also, I find it actually better in some regards. I'm going to delete this camera because we've got this extra camera here that we don't need, and then we've got this massive camera here. Can I change the size of this, the scale of it? Need some settings done here. So that's background image, viewport display. Can we change the viewport display of the size of it? There we go. Do I have an HDRI? Not yet. We will be making one in this live stream today. Chappie's one of your favorite all-time movies. Thanks, Tyler. Yeah, no, dude, it's so freaking awesome. And like, I mean, it's just mind-blowing also that they hand keyframed like almost all the shots, if not all the shots. I feel like I heard that they did keyframe every single shot of that film, and that just to me is super impressive on top of everything. Okay, so we have our cube that we are going to not use, but we actually have it for our reference of the direction that everything will be. So I'm going to go over into our display settings here. I'm going to create a whole new collection. We're just going to call this reference. And this is where you can put layout things like this, if you're doing a building or some kind of like CG world that you're creating, but you have real world elements as well. I like to place all of that stuff in here. You can put it in a layout, you can put it in a reference, but I like to create a whole separate collection to keep everything organized. We're just going to take this object 0 that got imported from our nuke and we'll place it directly in here. We're going to disable the camera option on this collection. That way it's its own separate thing, keeps everything super clean later. Yeah, no mocap, all rotomation and animation. That's just wild to me. I love to see the VFX breakdowns of movies like that because it's just so incredibly impressive. And it looks real. It looks real. That's how you want to do my TMNT 1990s style fan film. Do it, man. Do it. I want to see it. All right, so with that being said, that gets placed inside of here, but inside of our viewport to make it very clear to us that this won't be rendering, we can also change the viewport display. So I'm going to go down here to viewport display, and then I'm going to display it as wireframe, and that's going to give us just this cube here. We want to simplify it because otherwise we're going to get all these extra vertices here. So I'm going to add in a modifier, and then let's do decimate. Just gonna make this quite a bit smaller here, and it's okay if it's got a few different edges that we're adding in, as long as it's not broken, because looks like it might be broken if I go a little too far. That's fine. I'm just trying to, maybe, you know, honestly, we're probably overcomplicating this. If we go into our solid view here, okay, first before we do this I'm going to change this to solid, and then we just select everything on the inside of here. Can I easily? No, you can't. I wish you could. That would be super dope. Let's just grab all of these inside squares. Beautiful. Again, selecting all the inside squares on face selection mode. Guys, I watched the first 2 episodes of Squid Games last night. Who here has been watching Squid Games? No spoilers in the chat for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. Please. Please don't have spoilers for everybody. Also, because I haven't seen past episode 2. But I am excited. I'm excited. I might want to do, after we finish up this render series, I might want to do some kind of Squid Games-esque render. I don't know. If you guys got any suggestions, let me know. Am I a freelancer? I do freelance, but then I also work for a studio. You know, you can't stop me from working, okay? Okay, so now we've got this. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. We actually don't even need to create the planes on it because it's not going to be rendering anyways. We're just mostly using it for scale. Okay, I'm going to delete this extra edge that we have here. This was used for the scale of our head, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. And now we've got ourselves a lovely head. And of course, it moves just the way it did before because it's the camera moving. So all we have to do actually now is just go ahead and start adding in shapes. So if I add in, let's say, a sphere here, We unhide our camera so that way we can actually see. You'll notice that the sphere is moving appropriately with how the head is moving. This is the loveliness of doing it this workflow, is that all we then have to do is basically add in our objects to where the tracking is happening, and then everything will move accordingly with it. That's the best part about this. You're done watching the entire season. Really Intense was very good. Dude, I'm excited then. So you liked the whole season too. Did it live up to season 1? That was, I guess, my biggest concern, is that it wouldn't live up to season 1. But I'm already impressed with I'm already impressed with season 2 so far with the 2 episodes that I've seen. I'm super excited. Okay, great. So we're not going to be using a sphere because that's not what we need. Instead, I'm going to, not delete everything. I'm going to also delete this light up here though. I'm going to select everything and then just hide it. And then we can go in and then we can start modeling our head to how we want it. You're a freelancer in the field, but now I'm off because of the war in Gaza. Yeah, that's affecting everybody. I mean, there's a lot of that's been affecting the industry in the last few years, honestly. Everything from strikes to COVID to everything. So really hoping in this next year that things start to get back to normal, or at least some form of normalcy. Okay, I'm going to start out with doing this on its side because we've got these kind of cylinder-esque sides to the head here. So let's go ahead and just grab a circle, and then I'm going to, let's just create the rough shapes here first. You're thinking the same thing. How would they live up to season 1? But man, was it ever so gripping, and the writing was very good. Awesome. Well then, good. I'm glad, because I mean the thing is with shows like that, they can. We're gonna want to turn off 3D cursor here. The thing with shows like that is that it could feel like they rush stuff because they realized, we can make more money immediately, and I was concerned that this would be that as well. But of course, you never know. Especially since I guess it's been 3 years, hasn't it? What, sorry. I had to press F3, which, can I not? Bridge edge loops? 1 second. I'm going to move this over here and I'll show you what I do. So if you press F3, you can do bridge edge loops. Select at least 2 edge loops. I've got all of these selected. What do you mean? Oh, is it not bridge edge loops that you want to do? I thought it was bridge of some kind. Trying to fill these vertices in a clean way. I guess not. We can always just press F though on our keyboard, and that will fill it in that way. I thought you could just do bridge edge loops. Okay. The only concern I have now is the bevel functionality of this. So if we add, that works totally fine. Just gonna bevel that slightly there. Okay, and so then now if we then grab the side of the head here, basically I feel like the head is so simple that it's not that hard to model. You just need to do very basic shapes here. One thing I would recommend, so you said, and from Gaza, it's hard to do anything, but I'm just watching you. Well, I'm glad you're here. Join our Discord. Share some of the stuff you're working on. That's one way to, continue working on stuff. I think it's always good to work on personal projects, even if it is just personal projects, because, then you're always creating. You're always staying creating. And that way you're learning new things, because there's always new technology coming out, especially with AI these days. Don't be afraid of trying new things, not specifically AI, but using things like the new, Unreal Engine was brand new, literally 5 years ago, and then now it's become industry standard, and it's just crazy to see things like that as they're evolving. So don't be afraid of trying stuff out like that, and share your results that you're creating. If you find something interesting that other people should know about, then, share it. Be awesome. I'm going to use the mirror functionality here, so that way we've got the other side of the head going on. And yeah, we'll do y-axis. He's got like these, what do they call those? Like pie pans, basically. Like those old. Does anybody remember those old? Do they still sell those? Those old tinfoil pie pans. I haven't seen those since I was a kid. They shot both season 2 and 3 mostly together. Apparently, season 3 comes out in the summer and the show ends. It's very easy to mess something like this up, but they did great. Awesome. That's super cool. I didn't know that they filmed season 3 already. I'm going to take this whole edge here, and we're just going to... Let's see. I'm going to shift select this maybe. This is hard shape to get, I feel like. Guess we're gonna have to see. I'm gonna add in, and we'll just do it this way. I'll just add in another cube here. See, we deleted the other cube because we didn't need their default cube. We don't want their default cube. We want to make our own cubes. Why are they taking the only joy in life away from me? Making cubes. It's roughly where the eyes are at. Is this even like the right head? I guess it is. I love this design though. Basically trying to create this top piece here, which we'll just scale this down. Yeah, I'm starting a project right now actually. Oh whoops. Let's do this in, yeah, we're gonna do, I just finished up this Western. I feel like I talked to you guys about this before. And then currently working on a new project that we're kind of getting started. And I'm hoping, I haven't talked to any of the creatives about this yet, but I'm hoping that maybe I can do some streams while making some of the VFX for it. I feel like that would be kind of cool to show the pipeline in which I'm doing that stuff. But, I mean, if they... A lot of the times with projects like that, they don't want you to share anything public about it until the film's already out. So probably not going to happen. But I thought that might be an interesting request of them to see if they'd be interested in doing that. I'm going to just smooth this out a little bit more here to the back side of that. A Western film or short? It was a Western film. I did VFX on it. Although I did do a Western short that last year. Which, unfortunately, the next festival I was in, they just announced that they're not going to be... They're postponing it or something, so it's really unfortunate. So I'm not quite sure the next time that short's going to see the light of day. But as soon as we're done with the festival run, I'm planning on trying to upload that to my YouTube channel. If you show how to make the VFX for a show, yeah, it's kind of depends. I mean, they don't usually allow you to do such a thing, but this is an indie project, so there's a lot more leeways with this type of stuff. So I don't know. I'm going to ask them about it because sometimes it can be free marketing as well, depending on how they want to do that. I'm going to subdivide this surface here, and then we'll just bring this to the edge here. That's going to give us some bevel opportunities. Probably go all the way down with that, and then we're going to create a flat front to this. Asking doesn't hurt, especially if they end up allowing. For sure, yeah. You know, I guess we'll find out. You guys will know. I think we might want to add a few more edges there. Yeah, I like the smoothness on that. And then we'll create this like side piece as well. Sometimes what I like to do with this is just duplicate this edge here, and then if we make it its own thing, I'm gonna convert it. So if you do object, convert to curve, you can then add in some geometry this way really easily. I'm going to shade smooth this. I don't know if geometry was the right thing to do. Set that back to 0. Let's see. Oh, it's extrude, isn't it? Nope, it's not extrude. Maybe geometry was it. Why is it flattened out, though? Normally, this just goes out round for me. Why are we doing this? I could tell him I could post it after publishing. Oh, definitely. I mean, I can also do that already. I was just trying to see if it would be possible for me to stream as I was doing the VFX for it. I don't know. It's just a concept. I haven't talked to them yet about it. More than likely, it's going to be a no. But I like to think out loud. Okay, let's just move this out a little bit. So that way we're having our side piece there. And then I'm going to auto smooth that by angle there. Now we're kind of want this front piece for the eye as well. Stream as doing a VFX? No, yeah, I know. Oh, I already know it's a no. It would be cool if studios would sometimes allow things like that, especially like, okay, I get it. There's certain shots that you don't want to showcase, but it'd be kind of cool to see the magic as it's being made because they do production logs all the time on movies. I'm going to bring that in a little bit. Okay, for some reason this still feels a little big to me, so we're gonna check that out. Let's bring that in. And let's edge loop this all the way inwards. I'm gonna do one more in here, and then we're gonna scale that in. Still doesn't quite feel right to me. Let's use a subdivide surface here, and I'm going to use that before the mirror. Let's bring that out a little bit. Maybe scale it in. You can kill me and not doing 3D modeling in a stream? Yeah, well, doing 3D modeling can be tedious for sure. Would you probably allow you if you said you'd record it and upload it after the release? But that is an idea, actually. I guess you're right. I could just record everything preemptively and then afterwards release the stuff. They definitely would allow that. Gonna make kind of like this small center piece here on the front. And then let's go ahead and you're just gonna add in a few edge loops here, probably about that in size. This isn't very efficient, I know. Gotta make sure that goes all the way back. And then now if we add in our subdivisions. Let's do Control A and then change the scaling here, and then we'll smooth that as well. I don't like it. Let's redo it. Probably just bevel is probably the best option. I was just overcomplicating it. Are you good modeling, man? Keep up, stay patient. Thanks. I appreciate it. I wouldn't say I'm good at it, you know, but I enjoy it. It's fun. This is my therapeutic time of my day. All right. Just gonna bevel that front there. I'm actually just gonna let's do shade smooth. Maybe not. This is where things get a little rough. I want to make sure... I guess we do want these to be sharp edges, don't we? Probably could have beveled that with just more, and that honestly would have been better. Have I studied the field academically? No, I'm actually self-taught. But I work in the... I've worked in the industry for about 6 years now, professionally on films and television shows. Mostly compositing is what I've you know, done over the years. Not a lot of CG stuff. That's mostly held for doing you know, visual effects live streams and whatnot. I'm going to bring this out now, and then we're just going to create this mouth, basically. Yeah, the last few months, though, I've just been doing nonstop CG cows for a Western film. It's been crowd sim stuff that I did here in Blender, and that has definitely been a fun challenge for sure. Duplicate this to the other side here. Probably delete that, actually. Let's see. Do we want to mirror this, or how do we want to do this? Probably... Let's do object, set origin to 3D cursor, and then now if we use a mirror functionality here, I'm going to mirror it on the y-axis or the z-axis. Yeah, that probably is good. And then now we can just extrude that. Kind of want a snapping features to be on. That way we can easily snap it to the center, which I guess it's not going to be as easy as I wanted it to be. That's fine. It doesn't really matter. We'll just apply this. We'll just fill this first. Beautiful. Turn snapping off. That's probably a good idea. Can we see the results? That film is not out yet, but I will probably show the results once the film is out. I'm pretty proud of that stuff. We did a bunch of CG cows, and then we also did these bioluminescence shots that I talked to you guys a little bit about earlier. Grab this face up here. And that was quite a bit of fun. Okay, now this is where mirroring on would have been really nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to edge loop the center of this whole cube situation. And then if we go ahead and delete the vertices on the one side, I'm going to re-mirror everything. And again, just do that on the z-axis here. And then so now any changes we make to the one side will automatically be used over on the other side as well. Go to the side now, and we'll just make this more downwards. Beautiful. What do you think is more fun, the process or the result? It's a good question. I feel like I think it's not necessarily the process as in the actual work of doing the process. I think the fun is coming up with the pipeline to what you're creating. Because often, at least in my case, I'll design the pipeline of how we're doing shots, and then you've got 30 shots that you're going to be using that exact same pipeline on. But that first shot where you're basically creating the different versions and talking with the creatives about what they envision the shot to look like, I think that to me is the most enjoyable. It is just, creativity, people sitting in the room with you as you're working on the shot and kind of coming up with a way in which things can be done or how they want things to look. I find that working in the early stages of the shot, like what does the world look like, I think that is the most fun. I worked on a horror film last year where we had a CG world that we created. And, we spent months just talking about what does that world even look like. And I think that is the fun part, because it is just like this creative conversation between you and the writer and the director and the producers about, what that's supposed to look like and how you're supposed to accomplish something like that. So that to me, I think it is the most fun part. And then, like you're doing all of the work after the fact. That is enjoyable to an extent. I mean, it's VFX, so it's not unenjoyable, but it certainly doesn't compare to the creativity of the collaboration that you had before and how all of that kind of like intercedes with each other. I'm going to create like an edge here, and then we'll just go back again. So, that's pretty cool. Let's see. Just have that go all the way back there. That way, just a little bit more space on the side of that face. Hide everything now. A little bit easier to see what we're doing. Nothing is more beautiful than collaborating with other creative artists. 100%. Totally. That is very true. To me, I enjoy that process. Just working with people and trying to figure out kind of like creatively what the director wants, because sometimes creating something from nothing, I feel like it's a lot easier said than done, really. We worked on that horror film last year for a few months just in pre-production, and it was just this discussion of what even would that other world look like. And it's a lot of pitching ideas back and forth about what you're trying to accomplish. And that to me is the most fun. Let's just do that, and that's fine. I'm gonna delete these vertices here. Again, we'll probably just center this cube so that way every change we make, we could just mirror it. So add in a mirror, just flop it that way. And I do feel like there's a certain amount of ownership with that too, though. When you get to creatively work on stuff like that, it gives you a certain amount of ownership of like, yeah, I helped, work on this new world that we're basically creating from nothing. I'm going to extrude that upwards as well. Can you tell about your routine as a VFX artist? How do you mean? Like what kind of shots? Or is that the question? Like that could be there. It's 11 p.m. in France. Well, hello to France. It's 3:20 a.m. in your time zone. You guys all go to bed so early. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are up like very late. You should get some rest there, Satya. I appreciate you guys coming in, though. Yeah, you can tell the sun is still out my window right there. Let's grab all of these. We're just going to make everything go all the way to the top here. And then I'm going to duplicate this just on the Z-axis, and then we'll just fill in that way. That way we have it go all the way to the front here. Who knows? We're probably going to hate this. Just fill that in. Let's edge loop some more. Too jobless to sleep? Dude, same. Hi from Montreal. Well, hello to Montreal. It's so cool to hear from you guys from all over the world. That's awesome. Now, edge loop that, edge loop this, and then just keep filling in some stuff. Well, if you guys are new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We live stream every single week. And then also make sure to join the Discord. I think that's a great way of sharing your guys' work and getting some good positive feedback, as well as constructive feedback on the things that you're working on. I find it very useful to have a support group of people to talk to about shots that I'm doing and working on, and kind of getting that feedback, because, you know, you can't, I feel like for me anyways, it's hard to do shots and have fresh eyes on it very consistently. They say it's a lot like drinking wine. You can only taste test so many things at the same time. So you want to have like breaks in between working on stuff. And I think that's very true. And I think it's like visual effects as well has kind of like that same, you know, purview of like sometimes you need to take a step back, but it's also very helpful to have somebody else to bounce ideas off of and be creative in that, right? Because they can think about it from a perspective that maybe you didn't. And that, anyways, is why I think being part of like creative groups like Discord, whichever groups those might be, is very useful. I'm going to move this forward here. Okay. It's kind of like this front portion. I almost think that this should be, I get, maybe it should be further back. Yeah, I guess it should be further back. That's fine. We do have a bevel here. Might need to be a bigger bevel. Okay. This edge right here, if we now just make this pretty slim here, I'm gonna, whoops, make this pretty slim as well. If we just grab this single edge right there and then grab that on the Z-axis downwards, we can create like that side piece. Nice. That's going to be the side of the goggles there. What's the hardware that I'm using? Honestly, nothing special. I have a, I think the fanciest thing I have in my machine is a 3080 Ti. But everything else, I mean, like I'm just running like an i7 on a Windows desktop. I have considered, I don't know, I have considered potentially looking into like a Linux operating system. But I really haven't done too much research on it to figure out if that's a good fit for me or not. I don't think I like this subdivide surface, so we're actually probably going to just remove it. Kind of like the harder angles of stuff a little bit better. Because if we wanted to, we could actually go into some of these faces like this and then just bevel them outwards a little bit. That'll create a nice angle to your edge, because in real life there is no such thing as a sharp edge. So you can also select everything all the way around the goggles and then, you know, bevel that as well. Create yourself a little bit of a nice edge. That'll catch the light in these like very unique ways. Creative fatigue is a big issue, losing sense of judgment on work because we spend a lot of time on the same project. Yeah, I think, but that's also why you kind of want to try to, for me anyways, I work a lot. I do freelance, but I also work my day job. But because it's different shots, I think my brain resets when I'm working on one to another. That's at least the way I have found it. I don't know if that is a good way or not of doing things. I've been criticized of being delusional before, so I don't know. But I do think that if you have multiple projects that you're working on, it makes things a little bit easier. Makes it a little bit easier to not get burnt out. This looks like, I never saw the show, but, isn't there, oh man, what's it called? Futurama? Doesn't this look like the robot from Futurama at this stage? I'm gonna bevel that out a little bit. It looks like the robot from Futurama. I haven't even seen the show, and I'm like, it looks like the Futurama robot. Just gonna grab everything up here. I think it's just too tall. That's what the problem is. It does look like the robot from Futurama. I'm telling you it does. I know it does. I haven't even seen the Futurama. I'm going to mirror this, and then here's the cool feature you could use. You just mirror it around something. So let's just do it around that object. Pretty cool. Can you talk about your income? I mean, it varies, obviously. You know, I think that different artists make different wages depending on, you know, which projects they're working on. I mean, you could do some projects where you're basically doing it for free, but it's, you know, you're just trying to get, you know, either not a credit. I think that's a bad way of phrasing it, but you are trying to build a relationship with somebody. There's things like that happen in the industry. And then of course, you know, you can also try to do things for a little bit more money, and depending on what type of shots you're doing, or, you know, how in demand somebody is. I feel like the industry used to pay people a lot more because there was more of a demand for stuff, and that came from that. But I think that, like, lately anyways in the industry, it's more of a game of trying to get that work in the first place. That's just been my experience. And it really also depends on, like, if you're working on feature, or if you're working on, you know, TV shows, or if it's commercials. You're going to get paid differently depending on what type of project that is. There's actually a really useful, I don't remember which group released it, but there's a very useful document that talks about how much you should be getting paid. And that's just like as a reference. That way, you know how much you should be charging. I've seen a lot of artists over the years that will undercharge because they're trying to get, you know, work. I have found that the less you charge, the worse the client's going to be. In just kind of like a general sense, I find that people that are trying to pay you less in the first place, more than likely are not the type of people that you want to be working with, because they're going to take advantage of you in the long run. However, I have also done jobs where I do get paid less, and it's totally worked out just fine because also I know those people that I'm working with. So it really kind of depends. I mean, it's not like a one size fits all for projects. I've done a lot of things for super cheap and, you know, done other things where I've gotten paid really well. And it just kind of like depends on who you're working with and if you want to be working with them and so on and so forth. If a job has a budget, then they probably will pay you well. And if it's somebody that you want to work with. And if it's a job that has money and they're not wanting to pay you well, then it's more than likely not someone you want to work with, obviously, because their incentives for what they're trying to save their money for and use their money for aren't necessarily aligning with the fact that they care about you. He does look like the robot from Futurama, does it not? How do you spell Futurama? It kind of does. Not really. Not as much as I thought it did. I don't know why I thought it did more than in my head than it actually is. I think it's the goggles, though. These goggles make it look like that. So, this... I think we're going to want this guy here. We'll scale that down. I think as soon as we actually texture and shade this, it's going to be... Just do that. And then with this dude, let's just apply everything here. And then we're going to use a Boolean. I love Booleans. I got called out on a live stream a few months ago where I was using a Boolean to model and everybody made fun of me. And I was like, you know what? You guys go ahead and do your little edge loopy thingy and like get all the way to it and model it. I don't care. I'm not a good modeler. And I never claimed to be. Let's Alt H dish. No, let's see. Scale that in a little bit. Oh, I just got some comments. And I was like, you know what? I deserve it. I deserve it. Let's go to the front here and let's select all of that. Probably shouldn't select this centerpiece because I'm mirroring everything still. Stage one of self-hatred looks like. I don't have self-hatred. So that part goes smaller there before it gets bigger at the top. Why is this mirror not popping up? It's because the mirror needs something to mirror. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and save that. And now let's create this like front piece here. What's the easiest way to do this? Potentially, let's make this a little bit higher up. And then let's do cursor to selected. Oh no. Okay, let's do cursor to selected on this so it goes to the center of everything there. And then if we create a new plane and then delete everything except for one vertice and then add that vertice, let's do selection to cursor. Booyah, baby. We're onto something. And then I'm going to grab this, move this out to there. Let's just extrude this now. We're just going to try to create as much as possible something like that. And then if we use a mirror modifier on top of it, do mirror on the y-axis. There we go. Again, going back to top view, I think then selecting this whole thing and then just grabbing it out on the X. We really want this to follow that line. Beautiful. And then all I'm going to do is just apply that. And then we'll just grab this and move this all the way back. But now I'm just going to take this and then we'll convert it. I'll do convert to a curve. Though maybe before, I don't know. Let's just see how this looks first. I'm going to go to the geometry and then we'll change the depth here. What about the resolution? I think that's where we're running into a problem is that I had too sharp of edges there. So if I smooth? No. Basically want to make these Bezier curves. Is that possible? How do you do that? Probably have to go all the way back to just the vertices. And then if we then add in a subdivide surface and we'll just smooth that bad boy out like so. And we'll just apply that and then convert this. That's probably going to be. If somebody knows another way of doing that, let me know. Just going to then add that in. And then now this resolution. And ooh, whoa, that's cool. It's not what I wanted to do. I want to shade this smooth. Okay. So that, I'll probably just change the scale of this now. Oh, yeah, baby. That's basically what we were looking for. Let's grab these back two vertices here. Now, I'm just going to extrude this. Great. So that's going to be the... Oh, that looks good, guys. That looks good. That looks good. Oh, hell yeah. Indeed. Set spline type to Bezier. Is that under here? I bet you. Set spline type to Bezier. Set spline type? Bezier. Well, that's pretty good. It probably smoothed it out a little bit there. Not really, actually. Is it because I need to now scale that to compensate for it? It did make them Beziers, though. Which gives you a little bit more control. Don't forget to automatic. Okay, we'll try that real quick. Want to try that. So set spline type to Bezier. Automatic. Don't forget the automatic. Automatic? Automatic. What am I missing here? Set spline type to Bezier. Automatic. Set handle type. Oh, that did work. Dude, you're a genius. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. You the best. Okay. Wow. We're off to the races here, guys. We're off to the races. Now I just need to do this front one. We'll just pop that guy out real quick. Just bro popped up out of nowhere and decided to save the world. Hell yeah, he did. Okay, I'm going to then do the same thing we just did, but now for the bottom, okay? So we'll go ahead and add in another matte. No, sorry, not matte. Matte helped us. We're going to add in a plane. We'll delete our vertices. We'll do this, and then we'll just do selection to cursor. I do wonder sometimes, though, guys, because I get like not a lot of views. I'll get like 1,000 views on a live stream. And I'm like, wow, how do I get so many views on these streams and then only a couple people comment? And I'd like to know who's enjoying the, because I'll get a lot of likes on them too. And I'm like, I just want to know who's enjoying them at this point, you know? But you know, I guess it works. I'll be honest. I don't do much of the live stream stuff outside of this. So when it comes to like watching other streamers, I don't. So I'm right there with you guys with not commenting on things. Okay, that. I'll just have that go all the way back. Honestly, at this point, we'll just have it go all the way back. Let's do center that. Actually, no, we'll just have it go upwards into it. And then here it just goes in. So that'll be the front. Mirror this guy on the on the y-axis. Subdivide surface this guy with like a 5 or a 4. It's too late here. Good night, buddy. Hey, well, then I'll see you next week. No, I won't be tomorrow, but I stream once a week on Sundays. Unfortunately, I have a day job, so I can't do this full time. But yeah, I stream once a week on Sundays around the same time. So make sure to hit the subscribe button, so that way you don't miss out on those. You can also check out this live stream later. I'll probably be streaming for another hour or two. So if you want to watch that later, then feel free to drop on in, leave a comment. I'm going to go over here. You know, it used to be Control C to convert this stuff. Or was it Control C? No, it was Control M, I think. It was Control M. It was like Alt M, something like that. You can then convert it pretty easily to a curve. Let's do another depth here. And then we'll just shade smooth it. That's pretty good. Yeah, it was a long time ago when they changed that. I mean, it wasn't recent. It was pretty old command that they changed. I just miss it. I can say I miss it. I'm gonna grab this front here, and then we'll use. No, not that. The thing that Andrew, oh my gosh. Blender Guru said he wanted to get rid of, that I use all the time. Proportional editing? Who freaking does use proportional editing? That's like, it's like the best thing in Blender. That's not the best thing in Blender. Andrew Price. You're right. That's the one. I was like, Andrew Guru. I'm like, it's not Andrew Guru. And then Andrew Kramer was in my head. I'm like, it's not Andrew Kramer. It's Blender Guru. Just like mixing it all up. Is he smiling constantly? Let's just bring that up a little bit. Cool. Let's unhide our ugly side of our head now. I don't think I like this. I don't think I do. I definitely don't like it. I just don't know what I want to do about it. Trying to think of solutions here. I don't know how I want to connect it better. You had Garfield, Andrew Garfield. Yeah, dude's a legend, Andrew Garfield. Yeah, you had Andrew Garfield in your head. Dude, I do too. I always have Andrew Garfield in my head. I'm going to grab this edge here now. And we'll just extrude it backwards, right? Is that what we want to do? We'll just extrude it backwards. They can't tell us to stop. If we grab this whole top side now. I don't even know what I want to do with that. Just grab this whole top side, deselect that, I guess. I don't know. And we'll just go up to about right there. And then somehow this needs to fuse with that. I think that's where our current problem is, guys. We just need this to go all the way back. Then we gotta fix this. Which, by the way, we could just delete now that we actually have this. Probably fix it up a little bit more. Proportionals don't fit right, but besides that, it should be good. Yeah, I think the scaling is a little off, probably. Then you've got like this. I kind of want to fix this. I don't like. It's driving me crazy. We're going to just select everything here. We'll just delete them. It's just not working. It's not working, okay? It's not you. It's me. It's not you. It's me. I've heard that way too many times in my life. We all know it was me. Okay. I'm going to grab... don't you have a side view? I do technically. I think it's one of them. These are all like the same angle. We're going to do the Futurama head now. There we go. I think this is a little tall. It goes back too far like a shark fin. Probably. More than likely, it goes too far back. We can just shorten it. And then this whole thing is technically close. Change. I need to probably just turn off proportional editing. That goes down. It's interesting. So there's like this drop down portion here that's more of like a cylinder on the side piece than anything. It's like a jaw cylinder or something like that. Probably just place this more. Whoops, let's grab that here. Better, better. I'm just gonna grab these two faces then, and then we'll just bevel everything in. Certainly getting better. We're getting closer. It's closer. It's feeling better from the front for sure. You're definitely right, Okai Sado. You are definitely right. That works pretty nicely there. Although I just noticed now the front of the eyes is very different on their concept art. I like their side, but I don't like their front on the concept art, so we're just going to keep our front. I really like our front. Let's do this number. Let's try this first. Let's, yeah, it does look like two different robots. I don't know why I just noticed that. Can we just admit, or can I just admit that I'm just lazy right now and I just don't want to fill in these vertices correctly? Is that okay for me to admit, or are you guys going to be angry if I admit that? I could pretend like I'm not. I'd be like, oh yeah, no, I love to do this retopologization of things. Oh my goodness, this is not gonna be fun. I mean, it's gonna be so much fun. This is gonna be so much fun. Okay, so there's that. There. That there. Oof. You can pretend. I'm gonna pretend, all right. So much fun, guys. My favorite thing ever is this. Who doesn't like to do this? Not me. I mean, I do. There we go. Okay, we're gonna do a naughty. You guys are gonna close your eyes and pretend you didn't see us. You ready? You ready? Oh, look at that, guys. I filled in all of the edges there. That took an hour. All right. There's so many bad vertices with that. I'm sorry. Okay, what's going on here? We're going to take this guy, fill it in. That looks perfect. Oh no, I closed my eyes. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you never knew. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're all fine. I'll tell you this. If you guys can notice this in the front final render, then, you know, good on you. You guys are real pros. You more pro than me. We call this in the industry pixel fucking. Okay, so that is that. And then let this... Wait, what's going on? There we go. I need this edge here. Just fill that in. Oh my god, it worked. See, guys? Look at that. It's magic. It's already done. We may be pros, but ain't no render engine that pro. 100%. 100%, you know? We just out here, all right? And I can't help it that, you know... Okay, there we go. That's a lot better. I do like this. I don't even know what this is. What is this? What is that? Huh? Huh? Need answers right now. I also kind of... Okay, so we've got this. It's a goatee, 100%. 100. So if I grab this guy and then just move him outwards. There we go, dude. We've got this like weird ass jaw thingy going on. That's pretty sweet. I like it. I like it. Also, just a thing. Oh wait, I got an idea. Do Shift S, cursor selected. We want to keep everything centered as much as possible. Okay. All right. We want to keep it as centered as much as possible as things on the thing. And then we'll just scale that downwards into our... I'll go from the top here, probably a little bit outwards. And then let's just grab this bottom here and move it down. And this guy, let's add in a Boolean of that. And then we'll do this same thing on here. Boolean on that. I don't even know what that is. Chappie's mewing. Question. In large productions, are all the models they make perfect? Or do they leave things just fine? I would say they're probably a lot more perfect than mine. I'm not even saying probably. They are. I mean, they have dudes that's their job, you know? So it wouldn't surprise me. A lot of the models I've received are pretty damn good. Okay, that's going to be good. I know that's giving me a little weirdo glitchy right now, but that's fine. Once I'm done with everything, I'll just... You know, it does look like this, though. Is that a problem? I don't know. Do we not like that? Just hop back onto the stream. You're making good progress. Nice. Thanks, man. I don't think I like that. I think we're going to Alt-S this guy. If we scale him down and then scale him on the Z-axis and then hide it. Oh, I know what's going on here. That's what's going on. Alt-H that crap. Our union is thing messing up here. Do difference. Let's hide that. Handsome Squidward. Yeah, that's what I was going for. I don't know. Do we hate that, guys? What do we think? It's kind of interesting. Adds some detail that we didn't otherwise have. I mean, I'm not like in love with it, but I also could probably go without it. You know? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's all going under reference, by the way. Let's just do some cleanup real quick. So we'll do a new collection. Call this head. And then everything here minus this. Let's just do it this way. Select everything. Place it all under head. Beautiful. And let's see. Let's add an empty in. Add a cube empty. Put that all the way up there. Select our whole head that we've got going on. Then select the empty. Now, if we scale this guy down and then just place him here, I'm just curious what it looks like. So we're just going to scale everything down. Place it on our robot head location. This is our 0.2 meter tall head that we've got going on. Of course, we're going to animate it and stuff, so we'll get to that. Let's see. Go back over here. That's pretty sweet. Getting there, guys. We're getting there. Now we just have to do some more 3D modeling. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let's, how do we reset everything? Kind of want to make sure I'm going to reset it. You know what I'm saying? Just add a keyframe into this guy here. So if we do I, we keyframe everything on that frame. And then on frame 99999, we then place this all. Whoops. Let's turn my numlock on. That probably would be useful. Do rotation. We'll do scale. And there you go. Now our head is back to where it was. And then we can just snap it pretty easily. I don't know. There might be an easier way of doing that. But, you know, this is the way I'm doing it. So this is what I do. All right. Okay. Let's add in some wires. I like all these wires coming out the bottom here. I think that looks so cool. Dude, this can't be the same robot head. It can't be. I don't think it is. I'm having some serious doubts right now. Oh, you're right. I don't need to model the back part, but you know, I do put this on Patreon, and not that I really have that many Patreon subscribers, but try to make it worth it for you guys. So, you know, that way it's like actually doing like a whole model here. You guys can use it for whatever you want. That's the way I view it. Also, can't be that hard to model the back of the head. Famous last words. Let's do that. Just go back over here to our side view. And we'll just scale that upwards. So I'm noticing things are not centered on that. Let's just delete it. What am I doing? Let's do it this way. I do a cylinder. I guess it's not a cylinder. It looked like a cylinder from that angle, but now I'm looking at these other things, and this looks more square. I'm just going to go back in and add a cube. We like cubes. Cubes are easy to model with, type thing. Probably do that number on it. Just like close. What does that look like? Just scale it up now and turn off proportional editing as we're doing this. Cubes with a beveled edge. Yeah. I mean, it makes it so much easier just to like add a little bit of extra detail in that way. Love it. Yeah, one of the first CG freelance jobs I ever did was a robot. And that was a nightmare to model. Okay. But I feel like I've always lived my life with being overconfident in my abilities, and then halfway through a job freaking out because I realize that I'm in over my head. I don't know. Is anybody else like that? And it's gotten better over the years because now I kind of do know how to do most things. But like, it certainly almost got me in trouble a bunch of times. Let's grab this whole back half here. Just make it so it doesn't quite go back out as far. And then this guy right here, let's just grab this cube. And let's see, we'll place you probably more in the corner here, like on the side of the battery pack, downwards. What kind of robot? I mean, it was just like it's probably in one of my reels somewhere online, so you might probably be able to see it. I made this pretty interesting robot. It was just like it looked more like a Terminator type robot, honestly. Yeah, I guess it probably more like Terminator-esque. It was for a short film, and I did like a freelance job on it. And I honestly don't even know how I did it. It was like I was submitting to, when I first was trying to do like VFX, I had like a couple VFX to my name. Like honestly, not even like a whole reel. And I would just go on like these Facebook groups, and anytime someone was like, hey, I'm looking for a visual effects artist, I would then message them and I'd be like, oh yeah, I could do visual effects. And I kind of knew how to do visual effects, but all of my visual effects were for like fun YouTube video-esque type things. So honestly, not great for a reel. So I didn't have a reel. And a few people were like, oh, can I see your reel? And I was like, I don't have one, sorry. And then they'd be like, okay, never mind, we're going to go a different direction. And this one dude was just like, oh, I want to do it was honestly, it didn't start out as robot shots. The first thing he asked me to do was is to do a flying airship. And I was like, oh, that's pretty easy. It's not that much animation. I can, as far as like animation is concerned, it's relatively simple compared to, a robot, but I wasn't even thinking about a robot at the time. I was just like, oh, it's just a flying airship. So then I did the flying airship, and he was impressed with it enough where he was like, oh, can you do a robot that's walking around shooting like a gun out of his arm, like it had like a Gatling gun on it? Because they had a guy in a costume when they filmed it on set, and they didn't like the way it looked. And so I was like, oh yeah, I could do that. And so I said yes to working on it, and then they were just like, yeah, get started on it. Now, they didn't ask for a reel whatsoever. That just goes to show you, like, if you've got enough confidence in yourself, then you can really just do anything in life. But I mean, you have to deliver. You do have to deliver. There is that. So I did end up, actually giving them a shot that they were really happy with. And that's awesome. That was the first ever like full CG shot that I did. And that led to a couple other things, because once you do that like once, then people ask for referrals and, oh hey, Who did you get to do that VFX shot? And then they, ask you to do stuff because you worked on this other film that someone saw and all that stuff. For real, through Facebook, you find that job? I did. Yeah, on Facebook. I joined like a bunch of Facebook groups, and I was just like applying to like all of these people. And I have gotten a lot of jobs over the years off of Facebook. I think though the hard thing that you got to realize, at least with freelance, is that you never know who you're gonna get to work with, and you could work with some bad people that way. So just be careful. Keep that in mind, and be careful. For me, I've been pretty lucky to have not gotten anybody that I've really regretted working with. Let's make one ear first here. Let's see, they're wanting it on the back of the head. That's fine. Probably put it right about there. Cover up that patch. Yeah, I've gotten a few jobs through Facebook posts that have worked out really well over the years. I've met people, like on a golf course, and then started working on a job with them that way. Now have friendships with people like that, So you never know where you're going to get your next gig sometimes. Okay, that's good. I'm going to bevel this edge here. And then we'll shade schmoo that. A wild Hasselhoff appeared. Welcome to the chat, Hasselhoff. How you doing today? Did you say last time that you're almost graduating university? That's awesome, dude. We're 3D modeling a robot head today, and obviously we're not matching the front of the face to it because I guess their front of their face is different in the concept art versus the actual final film. Oh, you graduated last month. Well, congratulations. Huzzah. Probably make these a little bit bigger, honestly. We'll just scale those up. No. 1 month left. Gotcha. Okay. Well then, no huzzah for you yet, sir. You're gonna have to wait. Okay. That's nice. You don't get a huzzah yet. Well, you're already 5 steps ahead of me because I didn't go to VFX school. Let's see. You know what I think probably might be the best way to do this? Let's do this by one side at a time. You only had like 6 clients, and besides Polyford, all of them some weird things that they critiqued. You still don't deserve the huzzah. You don't get the huzzah until you're done, dude. Don't try to justify your huzzah-ness. Gonna grab this edge here. And is this how you make an ear? It's like bunny ears? You should have lied. Hey, if that makes you feel better, you could lie. I don't know what this says. If that says more about you than it says about me, but I'm joking. But dude, that's awesome. Congratulations. You're almost there. You're almost at the end of one chapter of your life. Have you mentioned what university you're going to? Can you mention? I know it's the internet, so maybe you don't want to say anything, which is fine. I think I tend to probably share too much. I have been criticized by some of my family that I share too much. But you know what? It might bite me in the ass later. It's fine. I feel like, though, like, you guys could probably figure out who I am and a lot about me just by the fact that on my channel I have, like, my short film, and you can easily look that up and then find me on IMDb or articles online that talk about some of the work I've done, and then find out where I live and, like, all that crap. So I feel like, you know, it is what it is. Okay, we're gonna... Oh, that's nice. I like that. Just smooth that out a little bit. And there you go. You got yourself your first ear, guys. I don't even know if that looks like an ear. Media design. Hashul. 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 Most of the time I'm online with my clan name. Oh, okay. Yeah. Media design. Hashul. I study digital film design. Dude, that's awesome. I do wish I went to university sometimes. Gonna do that, I think. I'm gonna make some of these lines a little sharper. Maybe not. Maybe that was a bad idea. It's fine. Most of the time, nothing bad really happens with letting public know about you. I don't know if that was sarcasm or not. I don't know, guys. Just shade smooth on a angle. I like the sharp edges. I don't want to get rid of the sharp edges. Do I have to... Let's just smooth it out ourselves. No, you're 100% right, Saya. Luckily, I'm such a small YouTube channel, I really don't think it matters. I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller here. And booyah, baby, we've got an ear. Is that the ear we're going for? Hashul. Somewhat private university, the state still finances most of it, and with a scholarship, it gets a bit less expensive. Dude, that's awesome. That is awesome. I try and I failed, or continuously fail, to learn German. Why is it? This mirror. Let's do that. Oh, it's mirroring about what? Oh, there we go. What is F? You shared 1 week muzzle flash on Discord. I'll have to check that out, dude. What'd you do that took 1 week on a muzzle flash? I'm actually kind of excited. I was considering that, like, with muzzle flashes, one way you could go all out with them is by using switch light to relight somebody's face, and then that way when they pull the muzzle flash trigger, you could actually have 3D light going on their face. Okay, I like that. That's pretty nice. Let's do... Let's add in a cylinder. Where's my... What is this? Where's that? Or not. Fine, we'll do it this way. What the heck was that? Yo, looks great. Would it slightly decrease the brightness on the background and keep the bright... Oh, you're talking about the muzzle flash shot. Well, thank you, Hasselhoff. I need that constant validation in my life. I live for that. Ugh. Okay, screw this. We're gonna delete one of the faces. So now we just have a circle. And then because this is at an angle, this makes it a little difficult. But you can use what's that called? What is that called? I need to deform this to skin shrink wrap onto that. Beautiful. Apply it. Go back over here. Select your faces. Extrude them outwards. Voila. You have yourself a little thingy-me-bob on the surface of your thing, which is close. Let's make this a little bit more. I want this to be a little bit lower. So let's just grab this guy, move him down here probably. One day you'll have to try plasticity CAD modeling, but with a Blender-inspired user interface. You can then export the model. Topology isn't great, but it works. So why would I do that then? Why would I endure such pain for topology that's worse? Join that in. Whoa! What did that do? Oh, it's part of the solidify thing. Honestly, it looks cool. I know it's not exactly what I wanted, but it actually looks kind of cool. Let's not do that, though. It's not exactly what I wanted. So we're going to take this. We'll just do another mirror. Perfecto, baby. Perfecto patronum. Just going to apply everything here. And let's do this again. Let's just take this guy here, and then let's take this guy here. And then if we select this face, ooh, so nice. Just delete that, that's fine. I don't even know. The ears can hear better now. Now you're in love with using STMaps and Nuke. Just have the main files once placed and just stamp so the scripts look so clean. 100%, dude. STMaps are life changer. Or you're talking about stamps. You're in love with stamps. Well, stamps are also great. Okay, that's looking pretty clean to me. I think we should add in some wires now, boys. Just join that all together. And then we can mirror this thing. Around this head. Okay. We'll have to continue to probably, let's see, the back of her head is still shockingly empty. Close your eyes. You didn't do anything bad. You just filled in the back. It's almost 5 a.m. Monday morning Should put that jobless ass to sleep. Good night. Well, hey, Satya, thanks for joining the stream. Get some rest. Get back at it in the morning. I expect to see some renders from you, okay? Probably select that there. I have no clue. I think that's fine. We're just filling in stuff now. I don't want you guys to notice how bad the topology is. It's okay. It looks good. It works fine. It works fine. It works fine. It works fine. You need to learn Blender so you can make some CGI stuff. I'm just taking a finger out of it yet. Dude, once you get started, there ain't no coming back. I kind of want to make this bottom here more inwards. Okay. You don't know where it's going wrong? Well, that's what asking other people for their eyeballs is for sure. Okay, that's looking pretty sweet. Let's grab this inside here and just make sure that goes all the way to the center. Super simple, but I kind of like it. I like these big cables kind of coming down right there though, so we might want to do some of that. It's easily do that just by I wish they had a single vertice that you can add in rather than doing it this way. But yeah, we'll just add this vertice here. We'll go to this view so that we could see it a little bit easier. We're just gonna extrude this downwards. Probably turn that back on. There we go. And then now if we added a nice subdivision surface. We'll do a few of these, but for the most part, that's good. So we'll just say convert this to a curve. Probably something like that. And then now this curve, we can go into our depth and just make it a little bit bigger. Nope. Shade smooth, please. Do the same thing here. Okay. Now, with this all centered up on that, we can go ahead and let's add in a circle probably for the below head portion of things. About that size will do. Yeah, let's extrude that downwards. Whoops. Extrude. Scale it out. Extrude. Scale that in. Just going to continue doing this a few times. Nice. It's like a little like a thing, you know? I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what it is. It's just a wah 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 thing. All right, cool. And probably should continue some other mechanisms that are going to be below the head. Probably scale all that down on that perspective. Okay. Nice. I like that base a little bit better. Do you think we maybe should have a couple more of these? So I'm just going to scale that there and upwards. Probably inwards as well. And then we'll just make this a little smaller. And then take that and just do a few of these. Nice. I convert all of that backwards now. This front of this section here. Well, there's a little bit of a gadget or something like that there. It's on the front of like this piece. Probably easiest thing to do is just use a cylinder, right? Probably something like that. Okay, let's just fix some of this. And then we'll just use a nice subdivide surface or something like that to smooth that outwards. That can just go down. Nice. Nice, guys. Okay, so, that's only on one side, though, so let's just take all of this. We want to convert them one by one. And I don't have any saves real quick, so let's do convert to mesh. Let's do convert to mesh. Convert to mesh. We'll do this for all of them, and then we'll just join them together. That's already a mesh. Then we'll take all of these guys. Let's just join them together for right now. And then let's do bottom selection of these guys with a nice proportional editing. Just make sure all of that goes in together. And then this whole thing, we're going to want to mirror it around our head again on the other side of the body. So that way we have the cables on all the sides kind of like getting tucked down into the neck area as it's going down. Let's just make sure that this back side here, it's kind of going inwards into it. Wonderful. I love proportional editing, guys. I love it so much. How does that look, guys? I feel like that just needs to be a little shorter there. It's like it is kind of more of like a goatee than anything. Like that, so then a little more separation there. I want to be able to see kind of like that it's not directly connected to it. Okay. I would say there's probably only one thing I really want to make sure of right now, and that is let's just deselect this whole portion. No. What's the best way to do this? Let's see. We're just going to do it through like a Bezier curve, probably the easiest. So go to curves, add a Bezier curve, and we'll go to side view here. Just grab the whole thing. And gosh, scale on the y-axis 0 first, just so that way everything is very smooth. And then we can just scale everything down now, and I'm just going to turn on proportional editing. But what this will allow us to do is go to the side view here, and I'm going to kind of line this up with our guy. And then you go all the way to the back here. I'm going to move it outwards. And then now if we add in that geometry that we had before, makes it a little bit easier to see. It's a little too big. That might be fine. And that goes along the top side there. Cool. I'll just convert that back to a mesh, and then we just mirror it the same way we did everything else. It's so easy to add in like detail on these types of things with like Bezier curves, because you get a lot out of it. Now if we just add screws into everything, it looks really clean, or it can look really clean. This right here doesn't quite line up with our headpiece. Just scale that in. I like that a lot better. Now I think what we're going to want to add in is some of these like screw holes. And we can do that by just using like a Boolean essentially to cut stuff out. So let's do the same thing we did before. We're going to just add in, probably do this by selecting this face here, setting that cursor to select it, adding in a cylinder, scaling that down, rotating it first. And then if we go to this side view here, let's actually hide this camera so we can see what we're doing. If we go to this side view here, we just set the scaling of this to be whatever we want it to. And we're just going to grab it and move it over to like roughly where we want these screws to be. And how far we want those indents to be as well. And then now, if we use a Boolean, actually we want to select this guy. And we're going to just use this Boolean here of this cylinder. Now if we hide this, you can kind of see what's going on. It just creates a hole in there. And we kind of want to make sure that it chops into it. So let's see. Before the mirror, after the subdivision, we'll do a union. And then that creates kind of like more of a hole, essentially, on the inside of that. You could also do a bevel functionality as well if you wanted to. Do Alt-H and then scale that down slightly. And now, rotating around this 3D cursor here. Really want to make this camera so we can't see it. Where is it? Do camera. Disable that collection. Thank you. Goodbye. Now we're just going to, instead of rotating on this medium point, let's rotate this on this 3D cursor here. And then we're just going to duplicate our cylinder that we have. And then rotate, I don't know, 25 degrees. No. 33 degrees. 45 degrees. And we like 45. Duplicate, rotate, 45. Duplicate, rotate, 45. And just continue that process all the way around. Wonderful. So now we've got all of those that are basically just chopping holes into everything. And of course, if we just place that in a reference, we'll never see it again. Hide that. There you go. You got yourself some holes in the side of your head. And that's getting mirrored onto this other side as well. I think it's a little smaller and a little more outside of the circle. You might be right. Luckily, that's an easy fix. Just scale everything by individual origins. I like that size, actually. I'm going to take that now, and on our thing, let's just go ahead and apply this. Oh, we don't want to, well, we can. Let's apply the subdivision and then the Boolean. We'll keep the mirror for right now. Okay, great. Now, let's go ahead and go into our mesh. Oh my gosh, in this new version of Blender, we don't have bolts, do we? That sucks. They got rid of, like, their bolt factory thing. It's one of my favorite. Oh, there we go. Haha! They do have it. Bolt, baby. Scale it up, rotate it, 90 degrees. Awesome. Boom. Boom. And actually, let's do this again. Let's go into mesh. Bolt. Let's go look at this guy. And then we'll change our bolt settings here. Let's, we do want it to be a bolt. Do we want Allen? Yeah, an Allen wrench probably makes the most sense. Let's do cap. No. Dome. 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 That's like literally the perfect bolt for this. Scale that up. Place it over here. Whoopsies. Will I fix my topology after the Boolean? Yes. Probably not, if I'm being honest. I don't like retopologizing stuff personally. That's just me, though. It depends on how much of a pain it gives me when it comes to texturing stuff later. Okay. Great. Just do this. Probably. Yeah, probably. I'm thinking about it. I'll pray about it. I'll get back to you. It's just, you know, give me like I'll get back to you in 6 months on it. Do I do it procedurally? No, I'm going to hand paint it, but that's actually probably why I'll be fine, because I'm not going to be taking it into any other software. There you go. So there's your bolts now on the 3D model there. Take this, do the same thing. We're going to just mirror it. I would say this. Okay. I think this is an important note to make. If I'm using this in production, yes, should fix topology. 100%, not arguing with that at all. What we're doing is doing this one shot. I'm not going to fix the topology on it because is it worth our time to go retopologize stuff on a live stream? Probably not. Is it necessary for actual films and working on real projects? 100%. So yes, go fix the retopology on that. That's just, to be clear, that's what you should do. Not ignoring it completely, although it's just something that I don't think is necessary on this specific live stream. Topology doesn't matter too much. Yeah, honestly, that is kind of true, Hasselhoff. I feel like unless you're doing rigging that your model is deforming, that's when you're going to notice it the most. Texturing, you're probably going to notice it a little bit, unless, of course, what you have in Blender is just these smart UV unwraps. It's like, honestly, that fixes that whole problem there. And if you're hand painting it, then you're not going to have any problems with your UVs in that specific instance. So I think from a perspective of what is proper, you should go retopologize your stuff and clean up your topology. I tend not to, personally, and I get away with it. And does anyone ever know? No, because if you render it out, no one will see it on your final comp. Then no one sees in your final comp. There's not really a reason in my instance to do that. However, if you're working with a big group of people and everything needs to be done properly, then yes, you should. So all that to say that I do things wrong on that particular front. Okay. With that being said, though, let's go add some more bolts in. You have the same triplanar projection in every other software. If you know why you do stuff properly, you also know why not to. Yeah, that's true. I haven't done too much retopologizing in other softwares, honestly. I don't like to. Blender just makes everything quite a bit easier. Just not easier, I'm used to it. That's probably the better way of saying it. I'm going to Boolean this. Whoops. Oh, there it is. And then let's grab that, Boolean that. And then let's hide that. What does that look like? What are we doing here? Unionize it? Do we want to unionize? We're unionizing, baby. And then let's take this guy. We'll shade smooth him. Let's grab him outwards a little bit. Let's hide him. Perfect. I like that. That's going to give us a nice bolt here as well. So instead of... Let's just try to center that as much as possible. Instead of the previous bolt settings that we were using there, let's change this dome top to a cap. Yeah, that matches our cap that we have there. And then we can take this, scale it up, rotate it 90 degrees. I guess my philosophy and working a lot in indie productions has kind of like made this worse for me, is that if no one sees your topology being bad, then why does it matter if it's bad? And that's always just kind of been my mantra, because in the end of the day, why are we learning how to do this stuff or doing this stuff in the first place? It's to make the film. It's not to have good topology. It's about having a good outcome. And if your topology is bad, then it may reflect in the film, and in which case, then yes, you should probably fix your topology because it's actually making the film bad. But if you're spending a lot of time on something that no one is ever going to see, then does that matter? I don't know. That is a question of the century right there. If you're working on something that no one will ever see, does it make a difference? In my opinion would be that you probably are wasting your time. Okay, let's do a couple more of these. I want to add in a cylinder here. No, 100%. And that's why I said it's more of like a use case situation, right? So if you know, you're working on a project where it is noticeable, then do make the difference, right? Like, do actually do it correctly. But and not even on it's not a per project basis at that point. It's, did you notice it break? And if so, then you do need to fix it. Oh, you didn't notice it break? Then it wasn't necessary. And that's what we call pixel fucking, because you're basically doing something that no one will ever actually see. Oopsies. I don't think union was a good idea for that one. I like that. Although it's not... I think we need to pull it out a little bit more. Just hide it now. Not quite. It's more supposed to be like a dip in, like that. That's pretty sweet. And that comes off on both sides. A little extra detail there, baby. Probably want bolts here as well, right? Just take that. Let's go into the side view here and just line that up with the top. Okay, and it's not using a mirror function, so we're probably going to have to do this ourselves. Let's add in a mirror around specifically this guy on the y-axis. And then now we just add in a boolean of that. Probably want to make it a little smaller. Yeah, that's good. I like that. So now if we go ahead and add in another bolt again, so we'll just use the bolt. Boom. Probably change this to a dome top. You know, I don't know enough about the mechanics. This would probably be a good idea, is to actually research, oops, what type of bolt would actually go there. But again, I'm almost curious if I even should have wasted my time putting that bolt in, because no one's ever going to see it. Oh, wait, what? Is this not a... It is. The heck? Can't mirror... Oh, there it is. Why was I not able to before? Alrighty then, that's looking good. Let's go ahead and hide that. Let's hide these guys. Honestly, we may start applying some of that stuff too. I don't know. Mirror this around the dome of the head. On the y-axis, yeah. And then we'll probably have to start parenting a lot of this to that empty. So that way it changes its scaling and location to where we want it to be. I'll say some of the proportions are a little off on this, and I almost want that to be a little bit more like right there, for instance, as an example. And so in regards to that, I would want this to go up to it. So let's grab that section there, use proportional editing, and make it go up, intersected into it. Then on this front here, maybe not quite as far down. It's looking pretty solid, guys. That actually looks kind of like a robot head. Getting pretty close anyways. Once we start adding like little lights in there, ooh, it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice. Okay. Another cylinder. Just scale that down. What do we want for size of our bolt? Probably something like that. Let's mirror this again. Okay, great. Now we'll just add in some of our booleans. So we'll probably want this before. Well, we'll do it after the subdivision. And we'll select our cylinder here. See, we have our first one there. And then let's just duplicate this whole thing and then just, whoops, rotate this on its median point here. Beautiful. And then we'll just add some bolts into there. So many bolts. How many bolts does a robot need? A lot. Alright, that's already good because it's the correct one. Okay, great. And then we'll just do the same thing. We'll mirror this on the Y. Go into the edit mode. Duplicate him. Move him up here. Probably turn off proportional editing. It might do us well to do that. And then we'll just line this up with this hole up there. I love adding these bolts in. It's free details that we don't have to texture later. Although we will have a lot of texturing to do. What's the name of our tech company, guys? What's the name of our tech company? Neuron? What does that mean? Connor Labs. What's the name of our tech company, guys? Any names? Enron? Enron? What's that? Enron? It's an energy company. Corporation was an American energy commodity service company based in Houston, Texas. That's a real thing. Enron, we're back. Can we talk? That's the name of their website tagline. What a weird tagline for an energy company. We're back. Can we talk? Oh, I'm gonna stretch out while we're thinking about this. Need tech name, guys. Give me some tech names. Some tech names. Connor Labs sounds fine to you? Let's see. We'll just grab that out here. We want to solidify that then, and then push that inwards. At that point, you just do Tesla. Got ourselves like a... We could also just use their thing, which was... What is that? Tetromade? Is it Tetromade? Tentromade? C Labs? Oh, I see what you did there. C Lobs. CL Lobs. C Lobs. Mad Labs. C Lobs. C Lubes. Oh no, not C Lubes. We're not doing C Lubes. I didn't say that. Mad Labs. Bool. Oh, I have to convert this into an object first? That's pretty lame. Connor Mad Labs Incorporated, CML. CML Incorporated. It's a lot. Mad Labs sounds like a video game. I almost like this, I think. C Labs. We'll do C Labs. That's fine. Okay, great. So then we'll do this. Can't apply it yet. Let's convert this to a mesh. And then we take this guy, Booleanize the text. And then we do this, union. It's pretty close. I just don't like how much it's embedding into it. I mean, that works, or we have it bevel outwards. Maybe we bevel it outwards. So instead, you take this guy, you do that number on it. And that way it's like actually popping out. We have to hide all of our spheres one by one by one. Let's take this, well, then just join it. Boom. Now it appears on both sides, although it's mirrored. It's a printing malfunction. It's mirrored on the other side. No, we won't do that. Let's mirror it ourselves around that. Do we also mirror it on X? No, I guess we don't. Oh, I guess you can't mirror it at all. You kidding me? Is that how text works? Can't mirror things on text? That's lame. I guess that makes sense. Cool, guys. Well, there you go. Got ourselves some text on there already. I hate this photo though. I like this one better. Even that. Oh man, these dots, man, that looks so cool. Looks gnarly. Looks good. We gotta get it to looking like that. That's what we want right there. Okay? Alright? Slow work in progress to get there, but we'll do it. Let's see. Hey, your friendly neighborhood, make sure to hit that subscribe button, okay, guys? If you guys haven't already. Alright. Let's see. What else do we want to model today? Because we're not getting to texturing, obviously. Do we hate this thing? I think we do. I do, anyways. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. What's this called? Cylinder 3? Cylinder 3. Fast. Difference. I think I like that better. This one. Fast. Difference. Totally good. I think I like that better. Then we can definitely use some light up eyes and things like that as well. Let's add some bolts right here, and I think that's pretty close to being done. So let's see. Let's go in here. We'll add in another cylinder. We may want to apply all of our stuff because we know we're going to have to do this next week, so we might as well do it this week. Go into about like right there, maybe. Something like that. Then we'll just, again, Boolean this. Beautiful. Okay, so then we'll just duplicate that. Probably around there. Gorgeous. And this Boolean will be before the mirror. I love modifiers, guys. Holy cow, they save you so much time on this stuff. Just duplicate all that, probably join it together and then mirror it. Nice. Nice, guys. Oh, you know what? We did all that wonderful work. We got to do it down here now. It's hard surface modeling, man. You ain't ever done. Always add more bolts. There always could be more bolts. Roughly that size. Yeah, that's all probably pretty good. And let's see. Let's grab that, move it out. Beautiful. Let's just do it over here and there. Should be good. Add yourself in a nice boolean. Just move that up. Do fast. Beautiful. Okay. Probably easier just to add a brand new bolt in. And let's just move that all the way back there. That's good. Okay, great. And then we'll just mirror it. I don't know. I feel like this needs to be scaled down a little bit. Okay. Great. Okay. Any bolts that I'm missing, guys? You do, let's see. Why can't I select? What's going on there? There we go. There we go. That was wild. We'll do Control Plus all the way to about right there. And then now, let's just extrude this outwards. Nice. Okay, that gives that little plug that those guys were having in it. So we'll just go ahead and do that again. I'm just gonna Alt select. Let's just Shift Alt select that. There we go. Just extrude that, scale it outwards, and then just grab it, move it that direction. Awesome. Hell yeah, guys. There's our bolts, and that did it on both sides for us. So we can just go ahead and save now. Okay, let's Alt-H everything. We're going to go into here. I'm just going to apply subdivision and booleans. And then now I can go ahead and delete that guy. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this. We'll apply booleans. Delete that. Apply the booleans. Delete that. Booleans. Just like slowly cleaning everything up here. So booleans. We'll apply the mirror, then the booleans. So I could just delete that. This guy, booleans, we're going to delete that. Hesitant to get rid of too many of the mirrors because I do quite like using this mirror functionality. I'll just apply the boolean there. We'll take all of that, join it together. That way we're not getting the glitchiness anymore on that front of that face. And now this model is a lot closer to being ready for actual texturing work. Man, I like that. I think this is pretty close, guys, to finished. Let's see. We're under 99. We still have all of these things to select. So if we go into here and then we just select everything. And then once we have everything selected, let's go back to our empty that we had. We're going to Alt H. That's fine. Oh, we got to enable our collection here. Let's see. We're going to go to everything else. Select all of that. Go back. Shift select this guy, which is currently kind of moving everything around. And then we'll do object keep transform. Now oh, whoops. This guy. You are not supposed to have. Let's see, you're supposed to be parented to this guy. Object keep transform. Beautiful. What did I just mess up? I just messed up something. 1 second. We're gonna whoopsies. Let's go back. We're gonna enable our collection here. And then we're gonna select all of this stuff. Kind of want everything under this whole thing. And then we'll just parent it to this. Looks like I messed some stuff up though. What did I mess up and why? Why is that messed up? Oh, these all have keyframes on them. Why? Let's do B select on that. Let's remove that as well. We want to make sure we're deleting all keyframes here. Perfect. It got a little messy there for a second. Okay. Let's make sure we're setting our keyframe. Probably have to actually rig these wires though, so that way we can actually have some more rigging functionality for like how the wires are moving. Camera view over here. How's that look, guys? really basic animation that I'm doing here with the head. It's honestly not that much. Probably just adjust that slightly because our track is probably not quite. I don't know. That actually looks pretty good. Probably. That's nice. A little bit of turn the head a little bit. I like the idea that he's like looking over there or something like that. We have a little bit of creative freedom at least with this now. Like we can kind of move him however we want. I don't like this little... Goes down almost. I feel like here his head needs to be up a little bit. Oh yeah, that's good. Make the head a little bit smaller. I could do that. Totally could do that. I feel like that looks a little too small. Scale 0.95. Why does his head look so much smaller at the end there? Oh, because it's constantly shrinking down? Whoops. That's probably because I'm not actually keyframing the scale of this. There we go. That looks good. A lot better. You think the head is too high? It's possible. Bring it over a little bit. Gonna be hiding quite a bit anyways once we merge the layers. You gotta use your imagination. Some of the wires are not gonna be visible once we get to that part. Nice. Good call, Hasselhoff. I think it was supposed to be a little lower. Also good call, Kaisedo. Smaller. But like 5%. I don't think it feels floaty. I think you're seeing more of these wires that will not be visible because they will be under the shirt. That looks pretty good to me right there. rotated. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'll probably have to figure out a depth map situation or something like that for the shirt that's going to go in front. Oh, that's cool because they're mirrored. Let's see, let's grab this real quick. Go to... Wanted to make it a little thinner, that way we know for a fact that we're not putting someone's head inside of a... Okay, that's cool. Got a little bit of animation now, guys. A little bit of animation indeed. Let's see, let's over here. We'll turn this off just for ourselves. I don't want to see... Why are we seeing extras still? I don't get it. What is this that we're seeing? Oh, that's our reference object. Gotcha. Well, we can hide that now. All right, what do you guys think before we go into shading and all this stuff next week? I'm going to do shading next week, and then I think we'll do lighting the week after that. And then I'll render it out during the week, and then we can composite it on the last week. Unless next week we end up doing lighting and shading in the same week, which is very possible. Usually I like to do it at the same time just because lighting is so intertwined with shading. Oh, it looks like we have 2.5 minutes left on our little goal of today of hitting 1 super chat. Which I don't know. I put that goal on there because YouTube tells me to. I said I would do like a game night. I don't even know what a game night would entail for us. But maybe we'll do a board game night where we all play tabletop sim together or something fun like that. That'd be cool. But okay, well, great. I think that as far as this goes, this could be our model that we're going to work with. Next week, as I said, we'll probably get into lighting and shading, and then we can put that together and start to make this thing look really real. And then from there, we go into compositing it back into Nuke. You guys can use whatever compositing software you guys prefer, like After Effects, or even inside of Blender itself. But I find that doing it inside of Nuke is by far the most robust and is definitely how it is industry standard. But as far as this stream goes for today, I think this is we're in a pretty good spot with making ourselves a robotic head. If you guys want these project files, the link to that is in the description. I will be uploading these over onto the Patreon, so all of you guys wonderful Patreon members will get access to it first. Of course, as usual, thank you to everybody who are Patreon members. These wonderful compatriots here, they get access to all the project files and all that stuff. Super Chat payment doesn't allow PayPal. It doesn't. That's weird. I don't know. That's a Google thing. I've actually never really done the Super Chat thing. Hey, for a 3-hour stream, it turns out really well. Thanks, okay, still appreciate it. We're getting there. We're slowly getting there. 1 3-hour stream at a time. It's just it takes a minute. I do like these though, where we get to spend multiple weeks working on the same shot, because I feel like it allows us to fine tune things to a better extent. But yeah, one of these days we'll have to do some kind of like game chat thing or whatever. I don't know. I often think about it. I think, what would I do if I wasn't just doing VFX? And then I don't do it because that would not be as fun. But thank you guys so much for joining today's stream. I'll see you guys back next week with another live stream, and we'll be doing some more stuff. I've got some really cool news also to announce pretty soon. I don't want to announce it too prematurely, so we'll get to that later. But you guys have a good one. Thanks for joining today. Stay creating, and I hope to see some of your guys' stuff over in the Discord, so make sure to join that and post away. I love seeing the stuff you guys work on. Peace out. You guys have a good one.